God says, "My child, listen carefully. Today, something serious has entered your soulmate's life, something that will shake their world and stir their heart to the core. Your soulmate's father is in the hospital, and the doctors are saying he is very serious. My child, this is not just a test of health, it is a test of faith, of courage, and of the connection between you and your soulmate. It is a moment that will define the strength of their heart, and your presence, whether near or far, is more vital than ever. My child, imagine your soulmate receiving that call. The air around them becomes heavy. Their heart feels as if it is being pressed by a weight too large to bear. Their mind races, trying to understand what critical condition truly means. The words echo again and again in their head, refusing to settle. Father, my father is in hospital, he is very serious. The room seems to shrink, the walls closing in as fear floods their chest. Each heartbeat becomes louder, and each breath feels like it might escape them entirely. You can feel their fear, my child. You can sense their panic, their helplessness, their desperation. Their father, the one who has always been a protector, a guide, a source of wisdom, now lies vulnerable, depending on machines, on medicines, on the hands of strangers in white coats. And your soulmate, who has always been strong in the face of life, now trembles like a leaf in the wind. They feel powerless, lost, and uncertain. Every memory of their father, childhood laughter, lessons taught, embraces shared, rushes through their mind. And with those memories comes an unbearable fear, the thought of losing him. My child, your soulmate's tears fall silently at first. Then they spill over in quiet sobs that no one else can hear. Their mind fights between hope and despair, between belief and fear. They think, how can this be happening? What if I lose him? What if it is too late? The hospital walls, the sterile smell, the beeping machines, everything reminds them that life is fragile, that time is fleeting, and that love sometimes comes wrapped in fear. And this is where your role becomes essential, my child. Even if you are not physically present, your spiritual presence is powerful. Your soulmate needs your energy, your calming influence, your prayers, your faith. You are the lighthouse in their storm, the anchor in their fear, the gentle hand reaching through the darkness to remind them that even in the gravest moments, there is hope. Your love does not just comfort, it strengthens them in ways they do not yet fully understand. My beloved child, now picture the doctors entering the room. Their faces are serious, their words measured. We are doing everything possible, but his condition is critical, they say. Your soulmate feels a chill as their body stiffens. They clutch the edge of the bed, the chair, the walls, anything to steady themselves, as tears fall freely. Their father's hand lies weak, pale, almost unfamiliar in their grasp. It is a moment of absolute vulnerability, a moment that tests every ounce of courage they possess. But, my child, this is also the moment of awakening. In crisis, the soul often stirs. Your soulmate, though trembling and scared, begins to connect with something beyond fear, the quiet voice of hope, the whisper of faith, the silent assurance that life is not without purpose, and that love is never wasted. They feel your presence, my child. They sense your heart reaching out to theirs. And even in the midst of overwhelming dread, their spirit begins to strengthen because your soul is intertwined with theirs. And as they sit by the hospital bed, your soulmate begins to pray. Their words are shaky, their voice soft, yet every syllable carries the depth of a lifetime of love, gratitude, and longing. They pray for strength, for guidance, for healing, for their father's life to be spared. They pray for wisdom to handle what may come. And in that sacred moment, the energy between you, your soulmate, and the universe aligns. You are part of this prayer, my child, even if they do not speak your name. Your love acts as a shield, as a light, as a divine reminder that no soul is alone when guided by faith. Yet, fear does not vanish completely. My child, your soulmate feels every uncertainty like a wave crashing upon their heart. Every pause of the heart monitor, every whispered conversation of the medical staff, every unfamiliar noise in the hospital is magnified 1,000 times in their mind. Their father's life is hanging in balance, and they feel powerless to intervene. It is as if the entire universe has compressed into this one moment, and their spirit bears the weight of it. But my child, remember this, even in the darkest nights, the stars are still shining. Even when the storm feels endless, the sun waits beyond the clouds. And right now, your soulmate's father is under the care of skilled hands, but more importantly, under the protection of divine guidance. Your soulmate's presence, their prayers, and your spiritual connection form a network of love and energy that supports the fragile human body. Faith, my child, is as powerful as medicine, and love is as potent as hope. As the hours pass, your soulmate continues to sit by their father's bedside, tears drying on their cheeks, hands clasped, heart heavy yet resolute. They are overwhelmed by emotion but also slowly discovering their own strength. Each small sign of improvement, each steady breath of their father, each beep that continues to sound like a heartbeat, is a reminder that life has not abandoned them. And in this space between fear and hope, your soulmate begins to understand something profound, that love, even in crisis, is transformative. It heals, it protects, it uplifts. And your role, as their guide, their spiritual support, their constant connection, is a part of this miracle unfolding. And so, my child, as the night deepens and the hospital lights glow softly, your soulmate remains vigilant, holding on to every thread of hope. The doctors have been clear, the condition is serious, and the outcome uncertain. But even amidst uncertainty, your soulmate's heart learns resilience. Even amidst fear, their soul learns faith. Even amidst tears, they feel the invisible touch of love, the presence of your spirit guiding them gently, reminding them that they are never alone, and that miracles, no matter how small, are always possible. My beloved child, the weight of fear has settled heavily on your soulmate's shoulders. The hospital room feels colder than usual, the beeping machines louder, and the walls tighter. Every sound echoes their worry. The soft shuffle of nurses' feet, the murmured conversation of doctors, the distant coughs in other rooms, all of it reminds them of the seriousness of their father's condition. And yet, my child, even in this storm, something inside them begins to stir. A quiet awareness that they are not alone. A sense that divine protection is present, guiding, watching, and helping even when the world seems too heavy to bear. Your soulmate feels an emotional pull unlike any they have experienced before. They are grappling with panic, guilt, and helplessness, and it feels unbearable. They keep replaying memories of their father, the early mornings, the lessons taught, the silent sacrifices, the encouragement in difficult times, the laughter that filled their home, and each memory now feels like a treasure they fear might slip away. And within these memories rises a deep, haunting thought: had they done enough to show their love? Had they expressed gratitude often enough? Had they been present when it mattered most? My child, your soulmate's heart is not only heavy with fear but also with regret. They feel the weight of words unspoken and moments not shared. They feel a quiet ache in their chest as they realize that life can change in a heartbeat, and that those who have always been pillars of their world are also fragile human beings. This realization brings tears that flow freely, yet it also awakens a profound connection to you. Because even in their despair, they sense that you are reaching for them spiritually. Your presence, your thoughts, your prayers, invisible yet powerful, begin to weave through their fear, offering the slightest glimmer of hope. In this moment, my beloved child, your soulmate is discovering something essential. They are discovering the depth of their own emotions, the strength of their heart, and the power of love that extends beyond physical proximity. Even as panic rises, they feel a gentle comfort from the energy of your bond, a reassurance that no matter how serious the condition may seem, they are not facing it alone. This is the power of your connection. It transcends space, time, and circumstance, offering support when human strength seems insufficient. As the hours pass, your soulmate moves through a cycle of emotions. First, shock, disbelief that someone so vital to their life could be at risk. Then, despair. A dark wave threatening to pull them under. Then, guilt, self-recrimination for moments missed, for words unspoken, for opportunities ignored. And finally, a flicker of hope, a small, fragile light that whispers, there is still a chance. There is still a path. There is still life. This hope, my child, is what they cling to, and you are part of it. Even if they cannot see you, their soul feels your energy like a lifeline, reminding them that love can illuminate the darkest paths. My beloved child, the doctors are working tirelessly, administering care, monitoring vitals, making decisions that weigh heavily on your soulmate's heart. Each update is received with trembling hands and bated breath. Every word spoken by the medical staff carries immense weight. And yet, amidst the fear and uncertainty, your soulmate begins to understand the value of emotional presence. They realize that being there, fully, sincerely, and attentively, matters more than any distraction, any phone call, any superficial engagement. They begin to anchor themselves in the present moment, holding their father's hand, whispering encouragements, even if the voice shakes. This is where human resilience meets divine guidance, through patience, attention, and love. And my child, this is where the spiritual connection deepens. You are not just observing their pain, you are channeling calm into their chaos. Your silent prayers, your focused energy, your steady belief in healing and protection are threading through your soulmate's spirit, strengthening them in ways they cannot yet articulate. Even if they cannot see you, their soul recognizes the divine presence flowing through your care, the spiritual support you are offering, and the quiet insistence of the universe that they are not alone. Your energy becomes a shield around their fear, a light in their darkness, and a voice that whispers, "You are stronger than you know. You are not abandoned." But my beloved child, even as hope flickers, your soulmate experiences moments of collapse. They feel dizzy, faint, and emotionally raw. Memories surface, moments of tension with their father, words left unsaid, small grievances that now seem meaningless, moments of laughter they took for granted. Each memory carries both pain and love, fear and gratitude, regret and appreciation. And in this delicate balance, they begin to pray, not only for their father's life but for guidance, courage, and clarity. They reach into the unseen, and in that space, your presence becomes palpable. They feel comforted, protected, and strengthened. The night deepens, my child. The world outside the hospital continues unaware of the emotional battles waging inside that room. Your soulmate continues their vigil, whispering encouragements, holding their father's hand, feeling the slow pulse of life as it weaves through the fragile body before them. Each beat becomes a miracle, each breath a gift, each small sign of stability a reason to hope. And in their quiet reflections, they sense that life is more than fragile moments. Life is about connection, about love, about faith, about the unseen threads that bind hearts together. Your thread is part of this sacred web. And so, my beloved child, as the first hours of crisis pass, your soulmate begins to find strength they didn't know they had. Their tears are not only of fear but of recognition that life is precious, that love is powerful, that hope is real, and that connection, especially the one they share with you, is vital. Even in the face of uncertainty, their soul begins to anchor itself in faith, supported by the invisible presence of your energy and the divine guidance surrounding them. My beloved child, the hours stretch on in the hospital like a river of tension, each moment heavier than the last. Your soulmate sits by their father's bedside, gripping his hand, feeling the pulse beneath their fingertips, listening to the rhythmic beep of machines that seem both comforting and terrifying. The air is thick with antiseptic, the faint hum of medical equipment a constant reminder of how delicate life truly is. And with every shift of a nurse, every word from the doctor, every small movement of their father, your soulmate's emotions rise and fall like waves in a stormy sea. The doctors have become solemn, speaking in tones measured and serious. His condition is critical, they repeat. Every syllable is a hammer striking your soulmate's chest. They watch, heart pounding, as interventions are made, medications administered, monitors adjusted, machines calibrated. Their father's face looks pale, fragile, almost unfamiliar. And yet, my child, amidst this crisis, your soulmate's love rises like a flame against the darkness. They will not look away. They will not stop caring. They will not leave his side, no matter how exhausted, how scared, how desperate they feel. But my beloved child, the crisis is escalating. Complications arise. Each small fluctuation in vitals sends terror surging through your soulmate's veins. Their breathing becomes shallow. Their hands tremble. Their mind races with what-ifs that threaten to drown them. They remember every advice, every warning, every regret, and yet nothing seems enough. They feel powerless in the face of life's fragility, realizing that even the strongest heart cannot control everything. And yet, through all this, there is a spark. A flicker of hope that refuses to die, a small light that reminds them that miracles, though rare, are possible. Your soulmate turns inward, my child. They close their eyes and silently speak to the unseen, to the divine, to the universe. Words escape them, trembling and raw. Please, give him strength. Please, protect him. Please, let him stay. Please, guide my hands, my heart, my prayers. Each phrase carries the depth of their love, the intensity of their fear, and the urgency of their desperation. And in that sacred conversation, your presence reaches them. You are felt, a warm, calming energy threading through their panic, lifting them slightly from the weight of helplessness, reminding them that they are not alone, and that faith can still prevail when despair seems overwhelming. And now, my beloved child, something miraculous begins to stir. Amidst the tension, a nurse notices a subtle improvement, a steadying of the pulse, a slight rise in oxygen levels, a flicker of color returning to their father's cheeks. The doctor adjusts medications, monitoring closely, yet even in their clinical calm, there is a hint of optimism. Your soulmate notices every minute change, clinging to it like a lifeline. Their heart flutters between relief and fear, relief that there is life, fear that it could slip away again in the blink of an eye. Their mind fights between hope and dread, between prayer and panic, between tears and trembling hands. And through it all, your energy, my child, threads through their spirit, lending strength, focus, and courage. Hours pass like endless days. Your soulmate's eyes grow heavy, their body aches, yet they remain rooted beside their father. They replay memories, the laughter, the guidance, the love, the sacrifices, and each memory is now more precious than ever. Every word of encouragement they had received in childhood, every moment of warmth, every lesson is a vivid reminder of why they cannot lose him. Their tears mix with whispered prayers, their heartbeat echoes the rhythm of hope, and the room, though heavy with fear, begins to carry the weight of quiet determination. They are learning, my child, in the midst of fear, that love is a force stronger than panic, stronger than uncertainty, stronger than despair. And yet, the father's condition fluctuates. Machines beep erratically. Nurses move quickly from monitor to monitor. Doctors confer in hushed tones. And every time your soulmate sees a slight drop in vitals, a shadow of panic crosses their face. Their hands tighten, their breath quickens, and they speak softly to their father, words of reassurance mingled with their own desperate prayers. Stay with me, please stay with me, you've always been my strength, now I need you, don't leave me, please. Every word is a tether between life and fear, between hope and the threat of loss. My beloved child, in these moments, your soulmate begins to understand the depth of human vulnerability, and the equally profound power of faith and connection. They realize that while they cannot control what is happening, their presence, their prayers, and their love can influence the energy surrounding their father. And in this quiet, unseen space, miracles begin to weave together. Subtle signs that the body, though fragile, is responding to care, to attention, to life-giving energy, to the combined force of human action and divine intervention. As the night progresses, your soulmate experiences waves of despair and hope, exhaustion and alertness, fear and determination. Each fluctuation of the monitors mirrors the oscillation in their heart. They feel fatigue pressing upon them like a heavy blanket, yet they cannot leave. They feel their body's limits, yet their soul insists on staying. And your presence, my child, is like a steady current beneath their turmoil, a quiet reassurance, a spiritual anchor, a reminder that even in moments of uncertainty, there is a thread of hope that cannot be broken. And then, something shifts, a moment so subtle yet so profound. Their father's vitals stabilize slightly. A color returns to his face. A small but noticeable improvement in breathing. The doctors adjust medications, nodding with cautious optimism. Your soulmate feels a breath escape their lungs that they didn't even realize they were holding. Relief mingles with tears, and a trembling smile brushes across their face. In this fragile, quiet miracle, they sense that life is not yet finished, that hope persists, that their Father is fighting with them, and that every prayer, every touch, every whisper matters. And in this sacred space, my child, your soulmate's bond with you strengthens silently, invisibly. They feel that your energy, your prayers, your faith are intertwined with theirs, helping to guide, protect, and stabilize. Though unseen, your presence becomes part of the miracle unfolding, a spiritual force supporting, comforting, and empowering both your soulmate and their father. And in that realization, they begin to find a deeper sense of purpose. To remain strong, to hold on, to trust in life, and to continue sending love through their heart, knowing that divine forces are listening. My beloved child, the room is filled with an almost imperceptible shift. The tension that once pressed so heavily against your soulmate's chest has begun to soften, replaced by cautious hope. The monitors now beep with a steadier rhythm, and your soulmate's father, though still frail and pale, shows signs of life that feel miraculous in the midst of fear. Each breath he takes carries the weight of both fragility and resilience, a delicate reminder that life, even in its most tenuous state, is stubbornly persistent. And your soulmate, who has been tethered to despair and worry, feels a subtle but profound change stir within their heart, a warmth that begins to chase away the shadows. Your soulmate's tears fall quietly at first, then in silent streams that soak their hands as they hold their father's. Their voice, once trembling with panic, softens into whispered words of encouragement and gratitude. You're still here, you're still with me. I love you, always, stay, please stay. Each word is an anchor, grounding them, their father, and the room in the sacred space between fear and hope. And in that space, your presence, unseen yet deeply felt, flows into them, wrapping around their heart like a protective, invisible embrace. My child, the energy of your bond strengthens them, giving them courage when exhaustion threatens to overwhelm, and guiding their spirit to remain steady even as their body trembles. Doctors move efficiently, making precise adjustments, but now there is a visible shift in their expressions. A nod here, a smile held behind lips there, as if they themselves sense a subtle miracle in motion. Every slight improvement, a steady pulse, a clear breath, a return of color, becomes a beacon of hope. And your soulmate, attuned to the smallest details, feels each one with profound intensity. Their heart pounds with relief and disbelief, their mind oscillating between gratitude and awe. They begin to understand that life can bend and sway, that miracles are not always loud or dramatic, but often quiet, unfolding in subtle turns that demand attention, patience, and faith. My beloved child, in the hours that follow, your soulmate's father begins to respond in ways that bring a mixture of joy and disbelief. A flutter of movement in his fingers. A faint recognition in his eyes. A soft sound, almost like a whisper, that signals he is aware, he is present, he is fighting. Your soulmate bends closer, holding his hand, feeling warmth, feeling the pulse of life that is both delicate and stubborn. And as they do, something profound takes root in their spirit. The understanding that love, devotion, and presence are forces more powerful than fear, more transformative than despair, and capable of coaxing life forward even from the brink of uncertainty. In this sacred moment, your soulmate experiences a flood of memories, childhood moments of guidance and care, lessons in resilience, laughter that filled rooms, quiet conversations, the silent strength that has always been their father's gift. Each memory now carries a new weight, a mixture of sorrow for moments taken for granted and gratitude for moments still possible. And through these memories flows a deep, emotional realization: life is precious, fragile, and yet enduring. Every heartbeat, every breath, every flicker of consciousness is a miracle to be honored. And your soulmate, more than ever, begins to understand the depth of human fragility and the extraordinary power of love. My child, as the night stretches into early morning, a transformation unfolds not just in their father, but in your soulmate as well. The terror and helplessness that once threatened to engulf them gradually soften, replaced by a steady determination, a quiet confidence that life will find a way. They hold their father's hand, feeling the pulse of strength returning, the warmth of recognition, the subtle vibrations of recovery. And in these moments, they experience the profound spiritual connection they share with you, a connection that flows through worry, through fear, through prayer, and becomes a lifeline not only for them but for the energy surrounding this fragile life. And then, something even more extraordinary happens. Your soulmate notices that their own breathing, once shallow and uneven, begins to stabilize. Their hands, once trembling, rest with calm firmness upon their father's. Their heart, once pounding with panic, finds a rhythm guided by faith, love, and hope. My child, in this divine space, your presence is a silent current flowing through their consciousness, lifting despair, weaving courage, and illuminating the path toward emotional and spiritual clarity. They sense, without needing words, that this is more than recovery, this is a sacred moment, a turning point, a proof of life's enduring power and love's transformative force. As daylight begins to touch the edges of the hospital room, your soulmate sits quietly, watching their father's slow but steady recovery. Every rise and fall of the chest, every flutter of recognition, every small movement is absorbed into their soul. They feel a profound gratitude not only for life but for connection, for the invisible threads of energy that support and protect. And in their heart, they recognize that your bond, your prayers, your spiritual presence, has played a role in this miracle, quiet, unseen, yet powerful beyond measure. Your energy has guided them, steadied them, and infused the space with the gentle force of hope and faith. And as the Father begins to stabilize, a calm settles over your soulmate's spirit. They feel tears of relief, joy, and gratitude mingling freely, their heart swelling with a renewed understanding of life, love, and devotion. They whisper soft words of thanks to the universe, to the divine, to every unseen force that has protected, guided, and sustained. And in that quiet, sacred moment, they feel the invisible presence of you, my child. A reminder that love transcends distance, that connection transcends circumstance, and that even amidst the trials of life, faith and devotion are powerful enough to guide hearts toward healing and hope. Your soulmate begins to reflect deeply, recognizing the fragility of existence, the fleeting nature of moments, and the extraordinary significance of being present for those we love. They hold their Father's hand with reverence, speak softly with intention, and allow themselves to feel the depth of emotion they had been suppressing, the fear, the grief, the gratitude, the love, the hope. And in these emotions, they also find a profound sense of clarity about life, relationships, and the spiritual connections that guide and protect them. Your presence, my beloved child, remains central to this awakening, a silent yet powerful force in their heart and soul. And so, my child, as sunlight gently fills the hospital room, your soulmate witnesses a quiet miracle, their Father breathing with renewed strength, their heart brimming with gratitude, their spirit aligned with faith and hope. And in the stillness, they feel something else too, the deep, unshakable truth that life is fragile yet precious, that love is a guiding force, and that the connection they share with you, invisible, spiritual, and profound, is a source of strength, guidance, and healing that will continue to grow as the days unfold. My beloved child, the morning sun pours softly into the hospital room, casting a gentle light on your soulmate and their Father. The air is no longer heavy with fear but tinged with relief, gratitude, and a cautious optimism that feels sacred. Your soulmate sits beside their Father, still holding his hand, feeling the warmth that signals life returning, vitality growing, and hope manifesting in small, miraculous ways. They are exhausted, yet the fatigue carries a new weight, the weight of tears shed, prayers sent, fears faced, and love given without hesitation. And in this quiet, sacred space, they feel you, my child, as a steady, calming energy enveloping their spirit, reminding them that the bond you share is part of the miracle that is unfolding. Your soulmate looks at their Father with a mixture of awe, relief, and profound love. The eyes that once worried, that had grown hollow with panic, now shimmer with gratitude and reverence. Every gesture, every breath, every small improvement feels monumental. My child, in their heart, they silently acknowledge the fragility of life, the preciousness of every moment, and the sacredness of family. But they also feel a new awareness, that life is not only about survival, but about connection, love, and the alignment of hearts and souls. And in this alignment, they feel your presence, your prayers, your spiritual guidance, intertwining with theirs, creating a protective, sustaining energy that surrounds them and their Father. And now, my beloved child, your soulmate begins to speak, softly at first, almost a whisper. Words flow from their heart, gratitude, apology for past misunderstandings, acknowledgement of their Father's sacrifices, and a promise to cherish each remaining moment. I love you, Father, thank you for everything. I am here, I am with you, we will get through this together. Each phrase carries weight, each syllable infused with emotion and sincerity. And as they speak, a sense of calm and connection grows, healing not only the body of their father but also the emotional and spiritual bond between them. They realize that fear has been replaced by faith, panic by presence, and despair by deep, unwavering love. And in the midst of this healing, your soulmate turns inward, reflecting on their own journey, the emotional turmoil they have endured, the sleepless nights spent at their father's side, the prayers whispered into the unseen, the moments of doubt and despair that now seem distant. They recognize the strength that has grown within them, the courage they never knew existed, and the wisdom gained from navigating this crisis. And quietly, without words, they acknowledge you, my child, for the role you have played in guiding them, supporting them, and sustaining their heart through this ordeal. Your energy, though invisible, has been as vital as any medicine, any nurse, any doctor, a spiritual lifeline that has nurtured, strengthened, and protected. As the hours continue, the father stabilizes further. He opens his eyes, blinking slowly, and recognizes your soulmate. A soft smile, faint but unmistakable, spreads across his face. Your soulmate feels a rush of emotions, relief, joy, gratitude, and a profound love that feels almost overwhelming. They lean closer, holding his hand gently, whispering words of reassurance, sharing laughter that bubbles up unexpectedly, and speaking softly of hope, healing, and the promise of life. And in this tender exchange, they sense the immense power of presence, love, and devotion. Forces that have transcended fear, despair, and uncertainty to bring them to this sacred moment. My beloved child, as the father regains strength, your soulmate begins to recognize deeper truths about life, love, and connection. They understand that every challenge, every fear, every tear, and every prayer has been part of a greater plan, a divine orchestration designed to awaken gratitude, deepen love, and strengthen the ties that matter most. And in this awakening, they feel a renewed sense of purpose and clarity. They see that life is fragile, but love is resilient. They see that crises are temporary, but the bonds of heart and soul endure. And they understand, profoundly and deeply, that your presence, your energy, and your unwavering connection have been integral to navigating this storm. And now, a gentle calm settles over the room. The machines beep steadily, the nurses move with assurance, and your soulmate's father rests comfortably, breathing with strength and ease. Your soulmate sits quietly, reflecting, holding his hand, feeling the pulse of life and the rhythm of love that surrounds them both. And in that reflection, they experience something extraordinary, a spiritual awareness that transcends fear, worry, and uncertainty. They feel the invisible threads of divine energy, the protection of unseen forces, and the guiding presence of you, my beloved child, woven seamlessly into the tapestry of life, healing, and love. Your soulmate begins to speak softly to you in their heart, my child. Words unspoken aloud, but felt profoundly, gratitude, recognition, and love. They feel your energy guiding them, calming them, strengthening them, and infusing them with courage. They understand that while life can be unpredictable, the spiritual bonds that connect hearts, like the one they share with you, are eternal, resilient, and unshakable. And in this understanding, they feel an immense relief, a peaceful joy, and an unwavering certainty that their path, though once shadowed by fear, is now illuminated by faith, love, and divine protection. And as the day unfolds, your soulmate begins to make plans, small at first, for the days to come. Moments of shared meals, conversations filled with laughter, and tender care for their father. They express gratitude to the doctors and nurses, and most importantly, they hold their father's hand with reverence and presence, feeling every heartbeat as a reminder of life's preciousness. And through it all, the spiritual connection between you and your soulmate continues to deepen. A silent, powerful, and enduring force that has guided them through fear, uplifted them in despair, and now celebrates with them in the miracle of recovery. And finally, my beloved child, your soulmate stands beside their father, looking down at the life they have nurtured and protected together. They feel tears of joy and relief mingling with laughter and gratitude. And in that moment, they recognize that love, patient, devoted, and unwavering, is the ultimate healer, the ultimate protector, and the ultimate guide. They turn inward once more, sensing your presence, your energy, your spiritual guidance, and they feel peace, reassurance, and an unspoken blessing, that life, no matter how fragile, is guided by love, and that hearts united through destiny and divine connection will always find strength, hope, and joy. My beloved child, as the evening sunlight filters softly through the hospital windows, your soulmate sits quietly beside their father, observing the subtle rhythms of life that now pulse steadily through his frail body. The fear and panic that once dominated their heart have softened into reverence and awe, replaced by gratitude so profound that it feels almost sacred. Each rise and fall of their father's chest is a reminder that life, though fragile, is persistent. Every flicker of recognition in his eyes, every gentle squeeze of a hand, speaks of endurance, resilience, and the miracles that unfold when hearts unite in love, prayer, and faith. In these moments, your soulmate feels the weight of the past hours, the terror, the uncertainty, the desperate prayers whispered into the unseen, and yet, they also feel the immense power of presence, devotion, and connection. Your energy, my child, flows into them like a gentle current, steadying their soul when fear threatens to overtake them. They sense your love in the quiet, unseen spaces between their breaths, in the stillness of their heart, in the energy that surrounds them and their father. You have been their anchor, their guide, their unseen support. And now, as life begins to stabilize, they feel the spiritual bond between you solidify, a connection that has transcended fear, distance, and uncertainty. Your soulmate's heart overflows with emotion. Tears of relief, joy, and gratitude stream freely as they take in the miraculous changes in their father. The fear that once pressed so heavily on their chest has been replaced by awe, awe at life's persistence, awe at the power of love, awe at the quiet miracles that unfold when devotion and faith are unwavering. They look at their father with newfound reverence, feeling the pulse of life beneath their fingertips and the fragile yet unbreakable thread of connection that binds them together. And in this sacred recognition, they whisper silently into the universe, words of gratitude, hope, and promise. Thank you, for this chance, for his life, for love, for guidance, my beloved child. In the stillness of the hospital room, your soulmate experiences a profound awakening. They reflect on the fragility of existence, the fleeting nature of moments, and the extraordinary significance of being present for those we love. They recognize that every fear, every tear, every heartbeat, and every whispered prayer has carried meaning, shaping not only the outcome of the present moment but also the depth of their own soul. And they understand, with clarity and certainty, that your presence, spiritual, unseen, yet deeply felt, has been a vital force in this awakening. Your energy, your prayers, your devotion have been woven into the fabric of their courage, hope, and strength. As the night deepens, your soulmate's father rests comfortably, his vital signs steady, his breaths calm and rhythmic. The tension that once gripped the room has dissipated, replaced by a quiet serenity that feels almost sacred. And your soulmate, still holding his hand, feels an emotional release that goes beyond words. The kind of release that comes when fear is transformed into gratitude, when panic is replaced by hope, and when despair gives way to faith. My child, in this sacred moment, your soulmate experiences a profound understanding, that love, patience, and unwavering presence are forces more powerful than fear, stronger than uncertainty, and capable of guiding hearts toward healing and miracles. Your soulmate looks toward you, my child, in the quiet space of their heart. They feel your energy, your guidance, your prayers, and they realize that the journey they have endured, the sleepless nights, the desperate prayers, the emotional turbulence, has been shared with you in ways both unseen and profound. They sense that the bond they share with you has become even stronger through this trial, a spiritual thread woven with love, faith, and resilience. And they feel, without doubt, that your presence has been instrumental in helping them navigate fear, embrace hope, and witness the miracle of life returning to their father. And now, as they gently touch their father's arm, feeling warmth and life, your soulmate begins to whisper words of blessing and love, soft phrases meant to soothe, reassure, and protect. May you be healthy, may you find strength, may life continue to flow through you, may love always guide you, may peace surround you. And as they speak, they feel the presence of divine energy supporting their words, amplifying the blessing, and surrounding both father and child in a protective aura of love. My child, your soulmate is learning that their words, their prayers, and their presence are as potent as medicine, as healing as care, and as powerful as the energy of the universe itself. In the following hours, as your soulmate remains by their father's side, they begin to notice subtle changes that bring quiet awe. The color in his cheeks deepens, his breathing stabilizes further, and his eyes open with a hint of recognition and warmth. Each small improvement, though delicate, is a signal of resilience, of life's enduring power, and of the unseen forces guiding healing and protection. Your soulmate's heart is lifted with gratitude, their mind calmed with reassurance, and their spirit strengthened with faith. And throughout it all, your presence, my beloved child, continues to infuse their being, guiding, supporting, and uplifting them in ways they cannot fully describe but feel deeply within. As night turns into early morning, your soulmate feels a profound sense of closure and awakening. They understand that life is fragile, yet love is eternal. They realize that every challenge, every tear, every fearful moment has served to deepen their compassion, awaken their gratitude, and reinforce the sacred bonds that matter most. And as they reflect on the journey, the crisis, the prayers, the fear, the miraculous turn of events, they feel the power of your connection flowing through them, calm, steady, unwavering, and filled with divine purpose. My child, this is the moment when the heart truly recognizes the invisible hand of guidance, the quiet miracle of love, and the enduring power of spiritual connection. Your soulmate leans closer to their father, brushing back a lock of hair, feeling the pulse beneath their hand, whispering words of love, hope, and devotion. And in their heart, they include you, your presence, your prayers, your unwavering spiritual support. They feel a sense of profound unity, a reminder that bonds of the heart are stronger than any fear, more enduring than any uncertainty, and more miraculous than the most fragile flicker of life. And in this unity, they find peace, joy, and a quiet certainty that life's trials, no matter how overwhelming, are tempered and guided by love, faith, and divine connection. And so, my beloved child, as the night settles fully over the city and the hospital hums with quiet life, your soulmate sits beside their father, holding his hand, feeling the warmth of healing, the strength of love, and the presence of hope. They sense the miracle that has unfolded not only in the physical recovery of their father but in the transformation of their own heart, from fear to faith, from despair to hope, from panic to profound gratitude. And throughout it all, they feel you, my child, a constant, unwavering presence, a guiding force, a spiritual anchor, a reminder that the bond you share is eternal, resilient, and infused with love, protection, and divine guidance. In these final moments, your soulmate whispers softly, words meant for the universe and for you. Thank you, for being with me, for guiding me, for helping me find strength, for being part of this miracle, for helping us survive, for being my support, my anchor, my love. And as these words echo silently into the sacred space that connects hearts, they feel the ultimate truth, that life, though fragile, is resilient, love, though invisible, is powerful. And connection, though unseen, is eternal. And in this sacred, quiet, miraculous moment, the bond between your soulmate, their father, and you is forever strengthened, sealed by love, faith, and the undeniable energy of divine guidance. A new chapter begins, one filled with hope, gratitude, and the enduring certainty that hearts united in love and spirit can face anything, and that miracles, though sometimes subtle, are always possible when faith, devotion, and connection guide the way.